So, as we've been saying previously, this is the Saudi Arabia, and we are not allowed here to protest or to speak up, if you know what I mean. We're not allowed here to do protest against the country or against the government or against the leadership. If you do so, you will end up in jail. That is correct. So unfortunately, it is a dangerous activities those Saudis are doing and encouraging everyone to do. And we see even people from the West encouraging Saudis to speak up. If you speak up, you will end up in jail. We do not follow American Constitution, nor British Constitution, nor European constitutions. We follow our own constitution here. So if I speak up against the leadership or the government, that will put me in danger. That will put me in a sort of a, yeah, it's a very dangerous activity those Saudis are doing. So my advice to all of you, especially in the West, you have to understand, if you want to understand, that's an optional. Saudi Arabian nature is not like Western nature. We have our own sort of political activities. We call it majlis. If you want to protest, you go to the leadership, open majlis, and go there and submit your petition, submit your complaint, submit whatever you want. You talk to them through what we call in Saudi Arabia majlis conversation or majlis talks. You go there, you put out your petition on a paper, you come to the microphone in the majlis, and you speak about the thing you think it's important to speak about. But to do it like in the West, protesting in the streets, doing street activities with the flags, with the banners, with all of these activities you guys do in the West, it's not going to happen here. We have our own sort of a democracy. It's a more of an organized democracy, sort of a more of a, they count in terms of protesting or coming up against something that the government is doing or the leadership is doing. You go to the majlis, the leadership majlis, and you talk to them. You will have the microphone and you submit your paper. If you have, if you don't have any sort of petitions, any sort of disagreement, it's not necessary to go there. If you want to go there just to listen up and hear them how they discuss, to learn from them, you're welcome as a Saudi citizen. But to do it like the West are doing it, like a petition coming up in the media, talking about your government, talking about your leadership in a very bad tone, with the wrong attitude, you will end up in jail, unfortunately. So you have to be mindful when you talk to the leadership. You have to be respectful. Change your tone, change your attitude, respectfully, out of respect. So when you talk to the leadership, when you talk to the government leaders, you have to talk to them with a nice tone, with the right attitude. Not like what you guys do in the West, screaming and saying stuff that, um, you know, you guys in the West, you guys do it in a very violent way, very disturbing way. Yeah, like we don't do what you guys do. Saudi Arabia follows a different methodology in agreement and in disagreement. If you disagree on a certain political notion, you're welcome to go to the Majlis and talk there. If you agree on a certain political, notions, you're welcome to go there and express your agreement. So if I put it this way, if I'm yeah, like if I put it this way, you gotta put it, you gotta express your disagreement and agreement with the leadership and with the government in a very good manner. You're not allowed to do it, you know, in a violent way, and you're not allowed to do it in a very disturbing way. So we all have disagreements and agreements. That's the nature of people. Yet it will be acceptable if you express your disagreement in a very clear manner. That will be a very acceptable, even if it's disagreement with the government or disagreement with the leadership, but it has to be the right tone, the right attitude, the right methodology. You go to the majlis, you put out your petition, and you do it the right way. But to do it the way you guys do it in the West, that suits your environment and fits your ideology there and fits your culture. That's the whole thing. We can't even elaborate in this topic more than what I just did. So I hope I have covered a good part of your questions. Now I will go on to different topics that you guys always talk about Saudi Arabia. Yes, unfortunately, Saudi Arabia in the beginning of this 21st century, unfortunately, there was a lot of questions about a lot of Saudis renegades and Yemeni renegades and Emiratis renegades and Egyptian renegades and Lebanese renegades. You know, all of those people, unfortunately, the renegades from Saudi Arabia, from Egypt, from Yemen, from Emirates, from Lebanon, and whoever included and who did the 21st horrible attack in America. Those people, unfortunately, they are renegades. We would like to capture them before they go into America. That's how my government expressed their concern about them. But yet, what happened, unfortunately. It's a very disturbing sort of a thing. That is correct. But it indicates as well a failure. So what happened in the 21st century, it's a failure. The world failed to communicate. So communication obviously is very important. So to communicate is very important. So when you fail to communicate, that's what will happen. The 21st century attack on America due to the failure of communication. And this failure of communication happened in the 20th century and in the also 19th century. Explain to me why the world has World War One and World War Two, why America dropped the nuclear bomb over a Japanese nation, why the Holocaust happened. All these things, unfortunately, all these failure events happened in humanity in the previous centuries due to the failure. The world failed to communicate. And that's what will happen when the world failed to communicate. Unpleasant event will take place. Attacks like that will take place, unfortunately. So, my understanding, all these failure happened in the 19th century, 20th century, and the beginning of 21st century. The World War One, World War Two, the nuclear bomb dropped by America and the Japan, and the Holocaust as well. All of these failure, unfortunately, due to the communication. So if the world communicate better, we're not gonna have these things. See you guys in the next video.